Hi, I'm Bonnie McDonald Dixon with Storyvan TV, and I have a very exciting guest for you today. I met Arline and it was totally taken in. She's just has the best program ever if you're in business. And so, what she does is she shares how to get money and exposure for your business and or organization and find corporate sponsors right in your own town and how to go up the chain and find more money. It's money that you don't have to pay back. Now, I've heard this before, but we're going to hear it right from Arline what that looks like and how she teaches people. It's very, very exciting. Thank you, Arline, for being on Storyvan TV today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much. As you said, what I do is I teach people how to get money, even if they're an online coach, even if they are a small business or business just starting out. And it's money that you can use to grow your business. But the really, really good thing about it, another really good thing about it is you get lots of exposure. You can get high level publicity with very little effort. So I've developed a system of how even, as I said, even small businesses can get sponsorship money and work their way up from local all the way up to the national headquarters. So there's a few things that people do not understand about sponsors. And, you know, they're myths, I guess you could say. And one thing is people think that you have to be a nonprofit to get a sponsor. You do not have to be a nonprofit. As I said, you can be a small business, you can be an online coach, you can be just starting out, and you can get sponsorship that you can use to grow your business. Another myth is that your sponsors don't have to be industry specific. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're a health coach. You do not have to just get sponsors in the health field. The field is wide open. You can get all kinds of sponsors. And as I said, work your way up to the national headquarters. And then once you're there and known, then you can start picking and choosing more of what sponsors you want that fit with what you're doing. But why not get all the sponsors you can, right? Another thing is people think, oh, I'm too small. Why would a company sponsor me? I'm not worthy. Nobody knows me. And it's almost like nobody loves me. I'm going to go eat some worms type thing, where people they don't even try because they think they can't get sponsors. But you don't have to be big to get sponsorships. Sponsorships make you big. Now, when I talk about sponsors, I will interchange it every now and then with partnering with companies. And one really big mistake people make is when they think that they have to tell their potential sponsors all about them, all about their history, how wonderful they are, how many people they've helped, how many people they've saved, how great their products are. And they forget that it's not about them. Companies are not going to partner with you because of your business. Now, that has a little bit, that has something to do with it. But what they're looking for is how you are going to get more exposure for them. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Companies want visibility. Companies want exposure. And by giving them exposure and highlighting your sponsors or partners, you are able to get on the websites and in the newsletters of many of these companies. So the whole idea is to really zero in on what sponsors want. Now, most people think, oh, they have to have an event to get sponsors. You do not have to have an event. And also, most people think They know what sponsors want. They think, okay, we'll put their logo on our website. We'll put their name and logo on a banner or on the back of a t-shirt. Well, that's fine, but that is just a tip of the iceberg. That is just barely really touching what sponsors want and need. So, do you have any questions for me yet, Bonnie?
Well, I tell you, it's just been fascinating to me to learn about this, because it's like the best kept secret that businesses don't know about. And I must tell you, pre-COVID, my husband and I had sponsors, we had everything all on the go, and all of a sudden we had COVID happen, and it really happened to nix a certain project we were on. But I saw the process, I saw how they leaned forward. And what I would like to know a little bit, Arline, is how do you help a business uh, craft the right message, and what does that look like for a small business?
So that's great question, because most people do not know how to reach out to sponsors or how to partner with companies. And they think, like, I was just talking to someone today and she goes, well, we don't want local sponsors. We want the big sponsors. And I go, that's what everybody wants, but they don't have a system to get there. So you cannot just think that you're going to reach out to some of the major brands, the headquarters of major companies, and that they're going to pay attention to you. So what I do is I show people how to get involved with local businesses. And by doing that, you build authority, you build trust, you have an introduction. And then once you are familiar with a particular business and they're familiar with you, then I show you how to get content, how to get information to take to the headquarters of those companies.
So that is all relationships, isn't it?
It is.
Relationship. And we don't have to start at the top. In fact, by starting where you're at, wherever you are, you may know people already. You don't have to start a whole new relationship, but that person knows the next person knows the next person. So it's warm touching all the way, and not like you cold calling, a Visa and saying, hey, can you sponsor me?
Right.
It doesn't quite work that way. But maybe a local bank. I've heard some fun ones, and you may share this with me if I'm correct. It could be the most boring company in the world, an insurance agency, a bank, something very common in your area that would be happy to sponsor you. I was offered money the other day from, I was out in the park and they were having an event, and it was just a local organization. She literally said, and I didn't say anything. She's like, if you know of any event that you'd like to do, we have money. And I went, really?
It's crazy. You were really in the right place at the right time, weren't you?
Putting out the vibes or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because, think about it. What do local businesses want? They want visibility. They want more customers. Now, you will see how maybe a furniture store or car dealership, they get online, or not online, but on TV, and they're like, come on in, we've got the biggest sale of the month going on. And they do this every couple weeks, but it's very impersonal. And people just kind of start to tend to ignore it because it happens so much. So what we do is show you how to really take your companies you're partnering with and highlight them and showcase them, make them the heroes in the community, because we put them to, I better back up a little. What we do is my clients and their partners, we come together with a very, very simple community project,
Okay.
which then makes our partners stand out as the good guys, and it makes my clients stand out as the good guys. And because we're doing a community project, you can get a lot of free press.
Mhm.
You can get a lot of TV and radio time.
Mhm.
And according to Mashable, they do some interviews, and according to Mashable, 87% of the people they interviewed said they would sooner do business or buy goods from a company that gave back to the
Mhm.
community.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Uh-huh.
When
And
you're in the park, there's those
mhm,
local entities, and you want to share back and forth because they're right there, and you're
mhm.
touching them. It's very cool. Now, let me ask you a totally different question. What got you into teaching people how to do this?
Okay. So I've always loved animals and I've always loved the environment. And I was doing some volunteer work for two animal rescues. And here in Florida, we have a lot of feral cats. It doesn't get cold, so they multiply. And there's a program where you trap them, spay, neuter, take them back to the colony. People feed them and they don't multiply. So I was doing this, trapping cats, and I came upon this situation where I was horrified. There are like over 40 cats at this fish camp, and there are these kittens this big, and they couldn't hold their heads up. They were so malnourished. So
Mm,
I'm freaking out because I'm an animal lover. I'm
mm.
absolutely horrified. I don't know what to do. And all of a sudden, I just start picking up these kittens and stuffing them down my shirt.
Oh my.
Because I can't leave them there to die and starve
Yeah.
to death. And so I realized, I said, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't have the time. We don't have the manpower, the money, and we don't have a place to keep 40 more cats. So I did my research and found that most companies, not just nonprofits, but also businesses that excelled, all had sponsors. So I dug a little deeper and so on. And our very first sponsorship was two veterinarians took every single cat. They spay neutered. They gave them medications. Some of them needed surgeries. They
Mm.
did that. They did everything. The bill would have come to around $24,000.
Mm.
They did it all for free. And they even helped us find homes for some of the cats. So that's when I realized, okay, this sponsorship business works. And so we started having events and so on.
Mhm.
And then I realized I need to help people. I needed to expose people to this because so many businesses struggle and they don't know how to stand out among their competition.
Right.
There are thousands of financial people and health coaches and so on. So this helps you stand out among your competition. It
Mhm.
opens great doors for you. It shows you a whole new world. It
Mhm.
gives you money you can use however you want, and it gives you great exposure. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like a win-win-win-win-win all the way around. And
Yeah.
also you're helping the community.
Right.
Um, clients come and go, but sponsors can be forever. If
I've heard that too. Can you validate this? Once you find a sponsor, you can
mhm,
work with them often in multiple years because if you
mhm,
do a good job for them and they're doing for you, it's them a partnership and it may last many years, in
correct.
fact.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
because think about like going back to the furniture stores and car dealerships. They
Mhm.
spend tens of thousands of dollars for TV ads.
Yes.
And so if you can show them something a little bit different and a little bit unique
Mhm.
for a fraction of the price or just half the price. And showcase them and highlight them and make them the heroes and get them attention. And they don't really have to do a whole lot. You're setting everything up. And why wouldn't they come back to you year after year?
Right. I will tell you, having worked as a sales rep, I had monies in my pocket from the company I worked with to do ads. And some of those ads were like, 600 to 1,500 for one ad in the newspaper. And they only got one impression that day. Whereas this is ongoing for people. Usually people work together for a year or something like that.
Yeah, it just depends on how you set things up. Like I have one of my ladies, she does a small little project every few months. Some people have, it just depends on what you want to do. I have something where I like starting people out to get them going. And then there's your imagination can take you anywhere. I have all kinds of really fun, cool things you can do for sponsors. And it can be a lot of fun. And the other thing is people spend so much time, and I have myself, on doing things that are not making you money now. You can be writing a book, which is great, but that costs you money. And it's down the line where you might get some payback or feedback. Same with building a great website. It's nice, but it's not bringing you money right now. Once you learn how to get sponsors, you go straight to the money. So it's something that you can do within 3 months' time.
Arline, that is something I want everyone to pay attention to. That you can have money front-ended versus at the back end. And we all need, if we can have the money in the front end, it can carry us to the end of the book or whatever we're doing.
Exactly. It can help you with that. It can
help you, yes. In fact, maybe you can share this one. I've heard people will often do books and they'll have the sponsors in the book. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
It's really a fun way to do it. You say, I met a man who Greg and I did down in California, and he actually was from Canada, but he was doing a book tour, and he had all these sponsors. The sponsors were all over the side of his van, and he would go to his thing was about the grocery store. It was really interesting, and he traveled all over the U.S. and Canada. He was Canadian though, and went to co-ops. Specific co-ops. And he had got a van, sponsorship money, and he got to travel and he had his book. And it was really, as you said, win.
Right. And partnering with companies is really a very overlooked strategy that can bring you money and rapid growth quickly. But I think one of the reasons is because what I said in the beginning, people don't know where to look. The money's there. They don't know where to look, how to get it, how to start. It's kind of a little foreign entity for them because they don't realize they can do it. In 1 year alone, corporations gave out $60 billion in sponsorship money.
Wow.
So, I can't even realize how much that is. So 1% of that is $600 million. Wow. I know. And it's like the money's there, but people aren't finding it. They don't know where to look. They don't understand it. And I break it down very simply for people so that it's a step-by-step process. And what you said earlier, it's kind of like a best kept secret. The problem is it can be a curse and a blessing, because it's a blessing because the money's there. People can get it. but it's a curse because they don't realize they can get it. They don't think
Right.
it'll work for them.
And of course, someone could try to do it all on their own, and they're going to spend so much time and money. They're,
Mhm.
whereas if they work with you, Arline,
Mhm.
they'll be able to get the money more easily, quicker, less stress,
Mhm.
be guided on the way. And the cool thing is they can do it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So, and you can have
Mhm.
multiple, and that's the other thing. They can have multiple sponsors. They
Mhm.
don't have to have just one.
Right,
They
right,
can have
exactly.
multiple sponsors.
Yeah.
And so think about that. So all I can tell you is everyone listening needs to talk to Arline if you have a business. And if you don't know where to look, you're going to contact her. But what's really exciting here, and we'll speak it. Here we go. Is that you have something very exciting coming out for everyone.
Yes, I
And this
do.
is October 5th. And I'm going to let you take over so you speak it just right. But
Okay.
just a secret, you're going to receive a free gift. So he's listening to Arline right now.
Right. So on October 5th, which is a Thursday, at 1:30 Eastern, I'm going to have a free webinar. I'm going to go over some things and give you tips for about 20 minutes or so, and then open it up for Q&A. So people can ask any questions they may want. And I also I'm going to have a special offer beside the gift. The way to reach me, I put it in the chat. It's getsponsors.now.site, S-I-T-E. But I'm also, if you can't for some reason make the webinar, I'm going to put my text in the chat right now. And you can call me for the gift. Because I know, sometimes it just doesn't work for you at that time. But if you can even hop on for a few minutes, I will send you the recording. But you do have to at least hop on, for a couple minutes and say hello. And then I can send you the recording. So can everyone see the chat okay?
Let's see. My tech guy here.
What is she trying to do?
1 second here.
I could give you my text number. It's 386-212-6892. I'll repeat it. It's 386-212-6892. I like text the best way for communication. It's easy. So, text me and just say you'd like the gift, or you want to set up a time to talk with me, and I'll send you my calendar link, whatever you want. But the webinar, to register, go to Get Sponsors with an S at the end, getsponsors.now.site, S-I-T-E.
So everyone watching can see that going along the little ticker tape here. Yeah, getSponsorsNow.site for webinar and gift.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss out on this. This is valuable information. By valuable, I mean it's worth money in your pocket to talk to Arline.
It is.
Listen to her, learn from her, work with her, and you will be so pleased to know that you know how to get sponsors and partnerships for your business. And I just am so excited that you were here today.
Thank you.
And we're going to show one more thing here. And I think one of the things is when we're in a learning curve, it's hard. But if we have a guide, if we have someone to hold our hand, it's so much easier
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
It's taken me years to figure out how to get this to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done scads of research and joined, it's something that it's simpler, it's easier than people realize. But, well, maybe it's just easier for me because I've been doing it for so long and I've learned through the ages how to do it. But a teenager can do it. If you can read and follow directions, you can do this. So it's not a done for you, but it's a done with you program. I
A
guide you
done
through
with you.
everything step by step by step. So you never wake up and go, uh-oh, I'm stuck. What do I do next?
That's so exciting. Well, thank you for
Thank
coming on
you.
Story
Thank
Van
you.
TV. Educating just this little bit has opened many people's eyes
Great. Good.
to sponsorship. And now it's up to you to take advantage of this wonderful offer that Arline has for us. I'll be there. So let's all get on that webinar and sign up for that free gift and help our businesses out. And even if it's not for you, make sure that you share this with someone, because there might be another business out there that's been looking exactly how to do this. And this will be their ticket.
Yeah.
So
if you want sponsors, you can get them. You know, they're not, sponsors aren't going to come to you. You have to go to them. But if you want them, you can get them.
Thank you. Thank you, Arline.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time on Story Van TV.